Hello, gentle souls. Today's video is going to be how to make a trap jar. Fun fact, this is take 2. I was having issues with my microphone earlier with the first take, but it's all good. We're just going to keep on trucking. So this is my trap jar. I think when I redid it last, it was for the eclipse that was in March. And there's a full moon coming up in Libra on like the 11th or the 12th of this month. If you're wondering why I'm saying Libra, I like to do like a mix of Vedic and real sky sidereal astrology. So that's where the full moon is going to be. Yeah, 99% sure about that. Sometimes, in addition to herbs, we've got various herbs in here. Let's see if it'll focus on what's in the jar. What's in the jar? I've got a jar of salt. Anyway, and guess what's inside it? So, as you can see, there's a gigantic box of kosher salt here. That's the main ingredient because of salt's purifying nature. So you can also see there's a couple of bay leaves in here, a cinnamon stick. There are some cloves. There's rosemary and lavender in here also. If you're wondering where I get my herbs and spices from, sometimes I just go to my local little market to get things. You can get them in bulk. There's like a Indian grocery store that I go to sometimes for bulk herbs. This is a gigantic bay leaf. It's like the size of my hand. I have big hands. This is lavender flower back here that I also got from the Indian market. Another place you can get affordable herbs is your local grocery store in your like ethnic foods section. This is arnica, for example. Arnica flower. I'm not showing the brands because I don't want the social media gods to come get me. We also have things like chamomile. This is parsley. I've also got eucalyptus. But yeah, the main ingredient in here is salt. I only use kosher salt because I have a gigantic box of it. I would me personally, my preference is not table salt, but if that's what you have, by all means use it. You could also use sea salt. I have made like my own version of natron salt before. If you're unfamiliar with what that is, it is the substance that is naturally occurring like in the sand in the desert in Egypt. And that's what they used to, in the process of mummification for preparing people back in ancient Egypt. Yeah, I was a bit of like a Egypt nerd, and there was a brief period of time when I kind of figured that I would make natron by mixing kosher salt and baking soda to put in my trap jars. You might be wondering, what is the point of this? What are you trapping? Are you catching Pokemon? No, although I wish that were the thing here. It's to collect bad juju, negative vibes, bad energy that may find its way into your home or whatever space it is that you are trying to protect. So I keep it on my altar space. next to my front door because that is where everything comes in and out of my home. And it's just one of the many methods that I've implemented to keep my space clean and clear, and full of divine love and light, to keep it safe for me, a person who is intuitive and psychic and, you know, vulnerable to negative spirits and entities who either want to attack me because I'm a good person trying to help people, or, just want to feed off of me because, energy vampires exist. Um, you can even put crystals in here. The only catch with that is when you go to empty the jar. So there have been times when something particularly nasty has jumped through a reading, um, and I've just decided, like, oh, we're not um, saving the crystals. We're just gonna toss the crystals out with the contents inside the jar, which brings me to the other thing that I will mention that is extremely important, and I will mention this multiple times throughout the video. When it comes time to change out your trap jar, do not, and I repeat, do not open your trap jar inside of wherever it is you're keeping it. So if you're keeping it in your car, if you're keeping it at your office, if you're keeping it in your house, your apartment, whatever, do not open it inside there. When I go to change mine out, I do it outside, out in the open night air, mostly because I don't want my neighbors to, you know, see the crazy witch girl opening her jar of salt and herbs and spices. But yeah, when I take out the trash, I dump the contents inside the trash bag when I am outside. And when I will leave the jar on my porch while I go take out the trash. I try to do it on a day when I know that the trash is going to go out or be collected by the city, so that it spends less time out in the open, in the ether, in the night air. And then I will sage the crap out of the jar. I might even burn frankincense and myrrh for like an extra level of cleaning. And sometimes I will even, spray it with Florida water, which is another thing that's good for getting rid of nasty, funky stuff. I buy my Florida water. Well, I was buying my Florida water on Amazon, but it's not really a place I want to buy things from if I can help it. But your local metaphysical shop will carry it. You could also make it yourself. I personally do not know how, but I'm sure Google knows a person who knows a person that can show you how to make it. Maybe that's a thing that I will try, is make your own Florida water. We all need to be self-sufficient out here in these metaphysical streets. You know what I mean? All right. Where else did I leave off? Oh, and you can put like peppercorns or something in here too. You could put flowers in here, as long as it's like a non-perishable dried good. You can throw it in here. As far as like what everything does, I guess the benefit of being psychic is I'm very good at listening to what my higher self and like my spirit guides and my ancestors would want me to put into the jar. Just depends on the blend and why I feel like I need the jar. Honestly, like I know it's a thing, although I didn't find out it was a thing until after I did it the first time. That kind of thing happens to me a lot. Um, so nowadays, when I make one, if there's a herb that I'm thinking about adding to it, before I add it in there, I just kind of Google it to see what it does to, double check my hunch. Bay leaves are for protection. A lot of these herbs are for protection, but if you, it's really about intent. So the important thing to know when you're using any metaphysical tool, and I guess this just goes beyond trap jars, um, like saging your space, for example. It's less about the tool itself and the properties that it has, and think of, instead of thinking of the tool having these properties, which like they kind of innately do already, not kind of, they do, but so that you're not dependent on the tool, think of it more as an extension of yourself, or an extension of your intent. So when I am making my trap jar, when I'm cleansing my space or something, that was confirmation burp. People needed to go. They need to know this. I always make sure that I call down the pure, divine, radiant, loving light of source, the divine, the tippy top, the cream of the crop, the all that is. I call that energy down into my heart chakra. If you don't know where your heart chakra is, it's that space in your chest that feels very warm and fuzzy. When you're just having a great day, or you just really feel like someone loves you and cares about you, that is where your heart chakra is. Right in the middle of your chest is where you should be feeling that. Not the same as butterflies. That's closer to your solar plexus chakra. But anyway, that's probably something for another video. But I call that divine love and light energy down into my heart chakra, let it fill myself, and pour out of me into my space. And I let that light just flood my space, out the doors, windows, all that. And I make sure that my intent is to protect myself and serve my highest purpose, my highest good, how I can best help others and humanity as a whole. Because protecting yourself is kind of like putting your oxygen mask on yourself before you put the mask on others. So if your energy's not right, it makes it really hard for you to help those around you. And energy work, like Reiki and stuff, that's a whole other topic that we can go into. But it's one of those things I don't do because, like I touched on before, you never know what's going to jump out at you from another person. But anyway, I digress. So it's all about the intent. Even when I'm saging my apartment or using Palo Santo, the object that I am burning, that I am smudging with, that is a extension, a physical placeholder for me flooding my space with divine love and light. And also your spirit guides, your higher self, you can ask them to help you do that. I highly encourage it because it's a lot of work to do all on your own. Even if you're merely like a conduit or like a faucet. I kind of think of it, now we're getting into plumbing. Not a plumber, but it's kind of like if there's like like a well or a water main or something, and it's like where the water in your home comes from. You are like the faucet, you're like the fixture, and you are just letting the divine love and light from the universe, source, all that is, flow into whatever space it is that you're trying to cleanse and purify. Um, yeah, that's how I do it. That's what I do when I do it. So yeah, I will probably put this into a series. I don't know what I'm going to call it just yet. Maybe like how to protect yourself or how to cleanse your home or whatever space. Oh, and then about the crystal thing, putting crystals in here and how I wanted to throw them out. Yes, you can cleanse crystals. Yes, I do it all the time. But sometimes there are just things and you're just like, yeah, instead of putting forth the effort to cleanse a little itty bitty teeny tiny crystal, and I'm talking about like the smooth tumbled ones that you find for like $1. Um, Sometimes it's better to just toss them than try to cleanse them of the funk that they've accumulated from things. But yeah, um, yeah, that's another thing that I'll probably do a video on is how to cleanse your crystals. I keep mine in an area that gets a lot of sunlight by all of my house plants because plants transmute negative energy. And it's like a connection to Mother Earth. That's another important thing is grounding to Mother Earth. You want to imagine like roots, like if you were a tree, like the roots coming out of your feet and going deep down into the earth to the earth's core where the spirit of Mother Earth resides, with that golden healing, loving light. And she transmutes negativity. The earth is always healing itself. Yes, pollution is a thing, but the earth is also really great at transmuting negative energy. And also being grounded is important because you don't want to be unbalanced. You don't want to be, off in the Pleiades. Because unfortunately, we live in a society and our souls have decided to come here to do things to help things out. And so if we're off in another star system, we can't do our job to help people here. Um, and, that's only if you're called to do so. But now I'm rambling. So I guess this is where I will end it. Questions, comments, concerns, well, not link, but, put them down in the comment section below. Also, I am now doing readings. Yeah, I'll put that in the description box. Live readings and stuff like that. So if you're curious, you like my style, you like my flow, you like my sarcasm, and give it a shot. Yep, that's it. Okay, love and light, everyone. Take care. Hope this helps. Bye.